next few minutes, I'm going to share with you exactly what you can do to fill your pipeline with new buyers, sellers, leads, and better yet, referrals by leveraging the eXp Realty platform. That way you can take your business and ultimately your life to the next level. And if you're new to the channel, my name's Tyler Roicki. I run an international real estate team at eXp Realty. If you get any value whatsoever out of this video, all I'd ask is that you hit that subscribe button so that I can continue to share more tips and resources with you in the time ahead. And that being said, let's dive into the video. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do, actually, I'm gonna share my screen with you and just share this with you visually. KV Core, you're gonna wanna tap in and dial into that, and there's a super simple thing you can do to really get this running for you in a way that's scalable over the course of time as you generate more leads, have more closings, and ultimately have more money to reinvest into your business. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna pull up the KV Core platform and find a company listing to do a property boost on. This is super simple because there is a tab here where you can go and pull up the company listings. So it's important that it's something with your same brokerage because technically the brokerage owns the listing. And so as long as you're advertising your own brokerage listings, you're going to be good. And the platform's automatically gonna give credit where credit's due as well. So you're gonna wanna pick a listing, ideally something with great looking pictures, that's fresh to the market, newly listed, in a price point that is in line with what the median price is in your market, because that's where the most buyers are going to be buying. So scroll through the list, find something that's visually appealing. For instance, here's one right here. And I mean, it looks like that's a decent enough picture there. Might grab some attention. And what you're gonna do though, is you're going to go to the marketplace right here. And voila, there you have it. The big button that says property boost. And I'm just gonna clear this out, but you'll be able to put in an MLS number. Typically, it will find it that way. So let's see if it did. Worst case scenario, we're just gonna pull up the address. So let me go back here to company listings. We're gonna find the same property, put the address in. That way the platform can actually find it for us. So we got, here we go. I'm gonna copy that. Going back to marketplace, property boost, boost now. And we're gonna put in the property address. Wait for it to populate. Okay, there we go. Next, and voila, look, it's already got an ad generated for you. How about that? You didn't even have to create the creative at all. It's all ready to go, but you're gonna scroll down. It's real simple. You got a few options. It's gonna tell you, hey, promote your listing is probably gonna go the furthest with the spin because you got 7 days, but I mean, you can pick one. Bottom line is you're paying to reach the eyes on Facebook. Essentially, it's going to run the ad on there, but you got to pay to reach that audience because the platform wants their money that you're advertising on. And so you can see what it looks like though, but point is, it's going to tell you what to expect based on that spin. So if you go with the promote your listing, ad will be seen up to 2,000 times over the course of 7 days, and you'll add up to 16 contacts in your database. And so what I mean by this being scalable is, I mean, this is promoting one listing. You could do this however many times you want. And it's likely that if you're just getting started, you're probably not gonna wanna spend a whole lot of money on this. So just decide, hey, what is it that you're willing to commit per day? And you gotta understand, you gotta do this over a long enough period of time to see the results. If you have this running, you should be having leads to start to come in on a fairly regular basis. It should be about every day that you see something with it. But over time, as you have more revenue hitting your pipeline from these closings, you can actually up the spend and have more leads coming in. Now, the big key with this that will make or break it for you is your speed to lead. It makes all the difference in the world whether you're calling these leads, I kid you not, within 5 minutes, the sooner the better, but within 5 minutes of them coming in, that you're on the phone speaking with them versus getting to it later in the day, next day, I kid you not, your conversion rate will be over 50% higher if you're calling within 5 minutes. And then if they don't answer, just follow up until you make contact and can figure out, because you're vetting leads. Most of these leads are not going to go anywhere, but you're looking for that 1 or 2 or 3 or better yet 5 out of 100 if you get super lucky. But even if it's 1 or 2 out of 100, you're looking to make a connection with someone you can ultimately help with the purchase process in the future. So gotta understand, it's a numbers thing. you're paying for leads. Most leads won't go anywhere, but you're looking and filtering out all the contacts for the ones that will, who you can ultimately help through the process. Now that's the first thing. The second thing you can do to leverage the eXp platform is Renos. You got to get plugged into Renos if you're on board with eXp, because this is our internal platform in which the company is generating a ton of referral business. And they do that through a variety of programs such as eXp Relocation, eXp Affinity, Institutional Investment Services, even Express Offers and eXp REO. And they also got a military rewards program. But all these programs are where the company has a relationship with a employer, a bank, an institutional investor, what have you. But that through that one relationship, they're getting eXp's help to facilitate all that business. So if they have an employer on board with eXp Relocation, they're going to use eXp agents for every single employee that they end up relocating for their business. And so all of this business is getting sent to eXp agents, and it's tracking to do 30, if not 40,000 referrals this year as they're building out this platform. They did a ton of business this past year. In fact, it resulted in over $1 billion in closed business for our agents this past year that received a warm referral from eXp and ultimately closed. Over $1 billion in production. Think about that. And these converted a super high percentage because they're all warm connections. Like, it's not just like a cold internet lead. This is someone that our eXp Renos team has already been communicating with, working with, and they're just handing off that warm connection to an agent to help them with the next steps towards the purchase or sale of a property. So very, very high percent that these will convert at. It's insane. But the way you get these connections is based on who is certified. So there's a certification process for each and every single one of these. And what you can see here is, if you view the upcoming training calendar, it's going to show you how to get certified in each and every single one of these programs. So you got to understand, each one of these programs has their own certification process. For the most part, it's entirely free. There's only one that has any costs associated with it whatsoever. The rest of them is free. You just got to take about a 12-hour class for each and every one of them. But you can pull up the calendar here. It's going to show you what's on the calendar, and you can actually click how do I get certified, and it's going to break down how to get certified with each and every single one. It's even going to explain what each and every single one is. I recommend getting certified in every single one of them. Why not have the opportunity to actually assist with this business? But like I said, you'll see the comprehensive breakdown here. Makes it super simple to get involved and just go through the certification process. And here's the big key with this: just like the internet leads you generate with KV Core, speed to lead's important with this, because you might get a text from one of the staff members of eXp telling you the details, asking if you want to accept it. But from that point on, especially if you accept it, they're going to be looking to see how well you handled that opportunity. Did you do everything that's required? Were you communicative? So make sure you're meeting that standard, because the better you perform, there's like a point system behind it. But they're keeping tab of how well you do with what is expected and required. And based on that, that's going to dictate how much more you receive in the way of opportunities. So you have a chance to prove yourself, go above and beyond, over deliver, not just for the client, but for the people you're communicating with within the program who, need to know exactly what's happening at the variety of steps. But you'll learn about that through the certification process, but just do not take one of these opportunities for granted when you get your first one, because it's going to dictate how much more you receive in the future, because they're going to be wanting to send it to the agents that are ranking the highest in terms of how they're doing and performing with these. So that's the second thing. Massive opportunity here, but it's not the last thing, because here's the thing with eXp. eXp is the most productive real estate brokerage in the United States. We're number one out of all brokerages. We're the number one independent real estate brokerage that sells more houses than any other of the competing firms out there. And so when you have more closings happening, that means you have more listings. When you have more listings, guess what we have as agents? We have an opportunity to leverage those brokerage listings to help us position ourselves to get more business. So what's another way you can do that besides running ads through KV Core? Well, you could also host open houses, right? So going back to KV Core here, I want to show you how to make the most of that and really define open houses every single week you can host if that's something you want to do. Very simple. You go to your company listings in KV Core and rank it by listing date. So you'll see the most newly listed listings, and same thing as with the ads and picking a property. You want to find one that was recently listed, past week ideally, that has great curb appeal, that is priced at a median price point for your market, and ideally something that's easy to get to off of a main road or a high traffic area. That would be ideal, but at least be at or around the median price point, because that way you have the most amount of eyes on it, and it's going to drive the highest amount of traffic. So pick something, and what you'll do, and honestly, here's the thing with these, you're not just going to pick one and host it. You're going to have to reach out to the listing agents and get their go ahead that they're good with that and that it would work with their seller as well. So you just got to understand and expect, if you want to find an open house, you're probably going to have to call 3 to 5 agents to get one that says yes. And it might actually work out better than that, but just expect at least 3 to 5. Don't get discouraged if you ask 1 or 2 people and they just already have one planned, or their seller doesn't want it, or whatever the case is. But pull your top 5 and call all the agents. Offer to host an open house. Say, hey, this is so-and-so with eXp Realty. I saw that you have a listing on 123 Main Street. I wanted to see if you and your seller would be open to having me help y'all out with an open house. Would love to host one this weekend if that's something that would work for y'all, and just see what they say. They might say yes, they might say no, they might have to check with their seller, but regardless, you ask 5 listing agents that question, chances are you're gonna find at least one, maybe more than one, that would be receptive to it and would appreciate that. Because at the end of the day, it's going to help the home be accessible for prospective buyers, put some more eyes on it. But for you as the agent hosting it, it's an opportunity for you to make some client connections potentially. I mean, buyers walking in, a lot of times they're looking at houses for a reason. It might be something that they're actively searching. It might be something on their mind for the future. But regardless, if you're making conversation and making some connections, you could very well come away with some new buyer leads. And better yet, don't stop there. Take that open house as an opportunity to meet the neighbors. So you can do that by calling, inviting them to the open house. You can do that by door knocking. And if you do nothing else, at least door knock the street. 10 houses to the left, 10 houses to the right. Better yet, if you do the same thing across the street. Like, hey, I just wanted to let you know, since you're one of the neighbors here, there's a home that just hit the market right next door, down the street, what have you. And we're hosting an open house this weekend. Wanted you to be the first to know about it. Have an opportunity to come out if you'd like to get any interior design ideas or anything like that. And by the way, how do y'all like living in the neighborhood? It's a very simple way to form a conversation, and you never know, you might actually meet a future seller prospect based on that. But make the most of that opportunity. But between these 3 things, if you're utilizing KV Core on a daily basis to have your ad out there, you're gonna have an opportunity to have new leads coming in. If you're involved in Renos and have your certifications and are ready to seize opportunity at a moment's notice, and if you're using the fact that eXp is the most productive brokerage out there to leverage the listings to get your foot in the door, to meet prospective buyers and even sellers in the neighborhood, between those 3 things, there is a ton of opportunity, and you won't find it in the same exact way at any other brokerage out there. Now, that being said, here's what I'd leave you with. If you're at a point in your business where you are serious and committed to generating more leads, more clients, and opportunity, and you'd be open to learning more about how you could best position yourself to do that with eXp Realty, I'd love to connect more with you and share some even more detail on top of what I did in this video on exactly what that would look like for you and what aligning with eXp would look like based on what your goal is. I'd love to hear about your goal and see how we can help you achieve it. But do this. If that's you, go ahead and send me an email. You'll find that information along with some other helpful resources for you in the description below. If you got value out of this video, all I'd ask is that you hit the subscribe button, because I got a whole lot more where that came from to share in the time ahead, as long as you are subscribed so that you can actually see it. But that being said, thank you for watching the video, and until next time, I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video.